You are now listening to the Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast, a weekly review of Monday Night Raw and other wrestling-related topics. And here's your hosts, Peter Day and Jake Grandi.
We're working. Buddha monks in the trunk.
We're here again.
Hello, boys and girls. Hey, you do the introduction.
How's it going, everybody? This is Peter and Jake Talking Wrasslin.
I'm Peter.
This is Jake, and we're here to talk Payback and Raw from Richmond this week. Pretty fucking excited. Better show than I was expecting. I was kind of down. I think we were kind of down on it last week, but I feel really good about it. But first of all, let's get some handles out the way. You can always follow me at JG Pro Wrestling on Twitter. Follow Peter at LN Japanese on pretty much every social media out there.
Yeah, every social fucking media, even X-Hamster / LN Japanese.
See, I don't even know what that is.
Porn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. It's always gonna be about porn. I always got to drop the porn. But yeah, that and the PJTW Central Twitter account as well. So check this out, right? We had 2 awesome shows. One in the form of a special event, #pay-per-view. Yeah. And then we had a follow-up to Monday Night Raw. And I'll be honest, I missed the first 30 minutes.
Of Raw?
Yeah, because I was I had my tour at UPS.
Oh, okay.
And I was so beat. I caught the show, I took notes. But I also, I tried to watch it again, after Raw went off, it was already uploaded.
Yeah. And
I fell asleep. So that first 30 minutes, you're gonna have when we get there, you're gonna have to take it by the horns.
Oh yeah, you didn't miss too much. But,
yeah, they did the recap of it, but of it being I caught the opening, and then I guess that next match was Sheamus versus Ryback. Okay.
Yeah.
So, we'll go there. So if you haven't yet, go back and go to the Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling YouTube channel. The link is at PJTWcentral.com, and check out our predictions. It's in video format.
Yep.
And I also got live reactions to the pay-per-view. So if you're listening, go check that out. And without further ado, let's go into what you just said.
Payback. Let's do it.
I went in with low hopes because the build-up was just garbage.
Yeah. And
I've been sounding like a sourpuss for the past 3 weeks.
But it was good. It was good, I thought.
It was amazing.
The pre-show was pretty good. They had a bonus match starting with Stardust and R-Truth. R-Truth won that. It was real quick, but it was just I just thought a nice match just to kick off everything. Then they had the Meta Powers. Curtis Axel going full Hulk Hogan, dyeing the beard and everything yellow. And they get all the spots in on the early going, but then the Ascension win, which is something, I picked. So that won for me in the predictions. Kicking into the pre-show.
What does this mean, though?
What does this mean?
What does it mean?
Bragging rights, man.
I'm talking about not for that. I'm talking about for the Ascension winning.
Well, I guess they got in the Elimination Chamber, which the Meta Powers didn't. So I guess that shows they got a chance at the belts now, theoretically.
Do you think this was something where they was just okay, we're not a joke?
I think they just needed. It wasn't too long ago where they were trying to push them seriously. They beat the New Age Outlaws in January.
They
Royal
did.
Rumble, yeah. So it's May. So they kind of fell off quick. So I think you can build them up just as quick. I think them and the primetime players might have some good. That looks like a good feud, I would think.
Just saying the tag team division in general. It seems to be when Triple H became COO, it was one of the first things that he was focusing on. But we had all these sort of team asparagus and shit, right?
Yeah.
Everything was a team, and then it was the tag teams were coming back. Then it left, and now it's back again. It's 9 tag teams.
Yeah.
9 tag teams.
Who didn't make the Elimination Chamber? Well, we got the Meta Powers, we said. Is that it? Are they the
Meta Power and the Usos.
Well, yeah, the Usos. Wow, that's nuts. 8 tag teams. 8. I'm sure there's
some. So it's like 10.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some we're not thinking of. But that's awesome. That's cool.
Who are we? Oh yeah, the Harper and Rowan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're back together. So
and maybe Fandango and Ryder.
No. No. Oh man.
Well, yeah. After the pre-show, though, we kick it off with Sheamus versus Ziggler. It was an alright match. I'm kind of tired of seeing these guys wrestle each other, to be honest. But they did good job in the ring. Sheamus does win with the bro kick. He kind of like fakes an eye injury and he kicks him.
Do you think he bladed? He couldn't have bladed. What is he?
Oh, no,
that was Blaine?
I skipped that. That's actually Raw. I thought Ziggler headbutted him. I thought that was a little.
Yeah, but like it turned into a blood bath.
Yeah.
I mean, you looked at, they cleaned it up real quick too. But yeah, the payoff in this match was, and I said it like I was watching my live reactions was like, as soon as Ziggler rubbed his ass in Sheamus' face, I was like, okay, this was the payoff of him rubbing the face and then like watch as Sheamus wins. But then it was just like another weird ending. I thought Extreme Rules was a weird ending, and then this was a weird ending. He fucking just shoots his head straight into fucking Sheamus and just busts himself wide open.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of cool that he cared that much, but like, come on, man. Like,
so do you think it was? I mean, do you think it was a blade, or do you think it was a freak accident?
Just knowing like how I've seen like blade jobs done, I don't think so, because
he's not a magician.
Yeah, he would have just like normally you go to the turnbuckle and hold your head a little bit, or go into the ring and hold your head, but that was like headbutt. I think there was like 1 or 2 headbutts, and then he just started gushing.
Yep.
And it was on the side, so I definitely think he just kind of just like put too much into that headbutt and just busted his own head. But it wasn't enough. Sheamus took the victory.
Sheamus took the victory with a vicious. That bro kick looked good. He was on his knees, and he had to go.
Yeah, and then Peter, you picked Sheamus, so we're 1-1 now, going into the New Day and Ken Cesaro.
Feel the power.
2 out of 3 falls tag team championship.
Oh, dude, I fucking freaked out the first pinfall. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, best 2 out of 3. Shit.
Yeah, the big scoop slams. Cesaro scoop slammed Big E and Kofi. Was pretty awesome in the early going. This match is awesome, as always. The swinging, the big swing into the kick was the first fall, and then the second fall here.
New Day gets the second fall.
New Day gets the second fall
with the big end, right?
Yeah.
The big end. Kofi comes off the top rope into the big end. We've seen that finisher before.
Yeah, and then the third fall was going back and forth kind of, but then Kofi was knocked out. Cesaro was going for the pin. Big E distracts the referee for Woods to go in.
He took his vest off.
Yeah, and roll up Cesaro, our kid.
I don't know. Hey, the promo they spit at the beginning, I was listening to a podcast. They could have went in a little bit harder.
With the Baltimore stuff?
Yeah, say the climate. They really could have, and had fun with it. I think everyone would have had fun with it. But it was either way a really good promo. You also get, but it really boils down to like who the fuck booked that ending. Like, just pick. Was it Dusty Rhodes or Michael P.S. Racist Hayes?
Yeah, I mean, come on, like. I mean, the Usos have done it, the Bellas have done it, but those are both twins. These guys, they don't even have the same hair.
They're just black.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're not even the same build. They don't even have the same hair.
Yeah.
He just took up his vest, he ran in, got the pin, which I thought was very funny. I mean, like, okay, let me remove myself from my blackness, right? Yeah. Those who are listening, yes, I am the black one. Let me remove myself from being black and look at it for what it is. I go, man, you know what? For the characters that they are, this was funny. But if I am to take in the fact that I'm black, I'm like, well, what is the message you're sending? Like you said, the Bella twins are twins. The Usos are twins.
Yes.
These two dudes are just black. And I just go like, man, who booked this, man? Like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
That's what I thought. Yeah, I was just staying with my mouth open. Like, I didn't know if I should like laugh or if they meant it to be this way or they didn't mean it. But I was just like, whatever. Like, I just kind of had to just like shake my head.
Yeah, I laughed, I chuckled, and I was like, but we got the win, and I do say we. Feel the power. And again, I got that one right because I was like, dude. They do make good champions, I think, for what they are, and they're given the push. It's great to see. I don't want to see them chase the titles. I think once they start chasing the titles, they become. I don't think the effectiveness of the gimmick they have right now with the New Day would be, it wouldn't last.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Then we move on to Ryback versus Wyatt. Big senton from the outside. Did you see that?
The cannonball.
Yeah, that was fucking gnarly.
And that ended the match, basically.
Yeah. Wyatt does win the match. Pretty good short match. I think this was the best showing Ryback's had in a while. I just go.
I feel like it was a wasted opportunity on a very stiff match. I think Ziggler versus Sheamus was stiffer than this. You got one big brute. I just don't think Ryback's a brawler. I think that's the only problem. I think he is a wrestler, which sort of limits him to be as physical as I would like to see him.
I can see that.
But yeah, that triple bomb, and then the way it ended, I thought that threw me off. He had him up in the shell shock. And he kind of rips off the top turnbuckles, sends him to the corner, and then he hits him with the Sister Abigail.
I mean, and you said you just didn't like it?
I thought I liked it. I just go like, was it a work? Because I thought reports came back that he had really fucked his rib up.
Oh, I mean, landing on him like that, I would say
that's 280 pounds.
Yeah.
Of like force drop.
And if you watch it again, I mean, like, not to say anything, but sometimes they their butt doesn't really hit him on the senton. You know what I mean?
That's still a lot of bad form.
No, but I'm saying if you watch this one again, this dude did not do that. He just landed flat on. Yeah. So I can see how that would. I mean, yeah, I can see how that would break something.
But then they played it into the finish of him exposing the turnbuckle, and he got whipped into the corner, which hit the rib that Ryback was selling. Now, was that Bray, instinct of how to do this and make it seem believable, or do you think it was already set up?
I didn't realize they were setting up that. I would say it was a setup. I don't think.
Either way, great job.
Yeah,
because it sold.
And they were playing it up on Raw. I mean, I know you didn't see the first. They were playing it up on Raw too. And he had tape ribs and everything. So I think it's too done in front of our eyes for it to be behind the scenes. You know what I mean? They're playing it up.
Either way, I heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it was Bray Wyatt's win. It's not a big win. It's a pay-per-view win. It's over Ryback. Whoop-de fucking do.
Well, I mean, they're pushing him somewhere.
I just don't see.
He's not in the IC elimination.
No, it's not. He doesn't need an IC belt. He needed a belt when he first showed up. He doesn't need a belt now, unless. And he's so far away from it.
The world.
Yeah, totally.
Well, Seth Rollins and him, that program wouldn't really work. 2 heels.
Bray is almost a babyface though. I mean, he's damn near babyface. He's babyface enough. He doesn't really go after heel heat. He's not talking shit about your city.
Yeah.
He's not talking down to the people. He's not cheating to win.
Yeah. I mean, I think they need to give him, like you said, like you've been saying, that Randy Orton program. One program to just bring him to the next level. But yeah, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see him with the belt one day.
I don't see him with any belts. I don't see him with any belts. And yeah, and Ryback, poor Ryback, fuck, man. Alright, whatever. This was nothing. This meant nothing. So, we talked about it long enough.
Yeah, we went on to Rusev versus Cena I Quit match. I really liked this match. I thought it was great for what it was. They had a little rough time with the table spot in the crowd. but what can you do? And then I think like Cena, Rusev figuring out like how the pyro works, and then like doing that whole pyro spot.
That was great.
That was good. It was good, like just some cheesy, awesome Cena shit, you know. Just and then they pull out like that rail that's obviously set up because, like King said it himself, he hadn't seen that rail since the '80s, and it was just like, I mean, just perfect.
They must have had an ROH show nearby.
Yeah.
They went to like an auditorium somewhere. Yeah. Independent. Hey man, you got some metal rails, man? we got to do a spot.
It's like, aren't you the WWE? Don't you have? No, we don't. Just shut.
No, we got barricades, man. We're above that. But I'd say that this match lived up the expectation. I was like, I quit, but like actually, this was a really good one.
It reminded me a lot of the Umaga Cena. I think it was a last man standing match in Royal Rumble 2008. It's one of my favorite matches, but they do that last spot at the end there where he's choking him with the rope, and that's how it ends. That's how that ends. But the ending was kind of cool where he's yelling in Bulgarian, and then Lana comes running in and is like, he quits, and then Cena's music plays. And
yeah, we went through so many different options. And we didn't even mention the fact that she could possibly throw in the towel.
Yeah, I heard Dan Lebransky on the Live Audio Wrestling podcast said that he wanted her to like take off her shirt, use it as like the white towel, and throw it.
The skirt, how the fuck I mean, great tits, that ass. Show me the cheeks. Just take off the dress, take off the bottom part, and throw that shit in and expose the cheeks. It'd be a ass finish.
And then we have Naomi.
But what? Do we talk about this at all, or do I
forgot what we said. I mean, you said Lana was gonna help.
No,
Cena win?
But I'm saying, like it for such a screwy finish. I think even I was like, I don't see this ending. I don't see the feud ending. But at that point in time, I thought it wasn't done yet.
Yeah, I thought it was going to keep going, but I guess we saw where it is going, which is kind of... I like the spins off of both where Cena's going and where Rusev is going.
I hate the way Rusev did. We'll get there.
Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah, but I the famous words of Mr. Horse from Ren and Stimpy. No, sir, I don't like it.
All right, well, then we have Naomi and Tamina versus Nikki and Brie Bella. I got to admit... I skipped this match, man.
I'll tell you all about it.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, I like to hear it. Here it go. So, yes, I think I found out on SmackDown, watching SmackDown, that was going to be that tag team match. And all I could think was, man, I just hope that gets a win. I hope that Tamina and Naomi gets the win because they are basically the next version of the Divas of Destruction, which was Natty and Beth Phoenix. Now, are you going to take these two big bad girls and they're in a division that no one matches up to them, even to an inch, even to a millimeter. Like there's no one out there in terms of just raw brute and athleticism. And this match was what it is. Tamina and Naomi gets the win almost convincingly, because I think it was it ended in a means where I think they were setting up for the rack attack on Tamina, and I could be wrong, guys. It's been a while, and I think Naomi came in and I think they tackled her or something, and then they ended up getting the pin over the Bella Twins. But I was just really happy that Naomi and Tamina got the win, because it's like, if you don't give these girls the appropriate dominant push that they deserve, it's all a waste of time. So I wanted them to win. I think I had the Bellas. I think I predicted in my preview, my SmackDown, that the Bellas were just going to win.
Yeah.
Because I've seen this before.
Well, Naomi beat Nikki. This is the third time in a tag match Naomi's beaten Nikki. So, I mean, she's obviously due for just a singles push, I think. I think she needs the belt. I think it needs to be her and Paige in the Divas picture.
Well, it looks like, it looks like it's going to be a three-way. going into another fucking 3-way going into.
Hey, I mean, Divas Elimination Chamber. Let's see it. You got the Bell Twins.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just joking.
Which would you rather see first? A Divas cage, Hell in a Cell?
Okay.
Elimination Chamber or ladder match?
I would say ladder match.
You want to see a ladder match?
I think Naomi especially could probably pull out some cool shit on a ladder match. And yeah, I would see ladder match. I like ladder match better than just generally. But what about you? I think Eric Bischoff one time booked a women's cage match on Raw one time.
I don't think it would do well. I think people.
Oh well, yeah.
I think people would be against it. Not in terms of
storyline, but in terms of like.
I think
health?
it's just health. I think just health issues. But yeah,
that's cool. And then we go on to a Neville versus Barrett. Barrett's always awesome. He did all his cool shit that he always does. But then for some reason Barrett just doesn't get in the ring after a 10 count. And then the match is over.
Yeah, that sucks.
But then Barrett hits him with a bullhammer. Barrett's putting on all his ring, his king gear. Neville attacks him, hits the red arrow on him. So why wouldn't you just have that be the finish?
I was pretty upset the fact that Neville... I wanted King Barrett to stand strong. Yeah. I wanted, Neville... Neville should have just stayed down. That's the only thing. I hate it. You never want to get to a pay-per-view and it end in a no contest or a count-out or a DQ. You never want that.
No.
Let alone, either just let him stand in the ring and be pissed off that you were a chicken shit. But, when he came in, I was like, yeah, stand tall, King Barrett. And then he had to fucking lay down for a red arrow. And I just go
who did this help? Neville won...
I guess it helps Neville
because of a count out.
But he's already getting all the help he did as a fresh new sensation and getting these near wins. It's helping. It really is because you're watching him develop in the fast lane. He's learning how to drive a stick in 5 o'clock traffic. And we want to see him. I don't think him losing is going to take away our interest for him because we want to see him succeed. He's going to get close and close and close. And one day we're going to finally see him go over the hump. For him to stand tall after this match did him an injustice because I think we want to sympathize for him more than we want to cheer him on as someone who is strong or victorious or someone who stands tall. And I want to get heat on. I want King Barrett to get heat.
Yeah, I mean, people have been saying that for years. Barrett, he's definitely got the. I don't understand why he's not a main event guy by now, or has ever been. I guess he was
because he's accident prone. He's had to leave. He's had to leave the roster 3 times
This is true.
Due to injury. It's the same with Ziggler. I mean, you get homies that are accident prone and their pushes are all compromised, all of them. Especially shame on you once, we'll give you another shot. Shame on you again, man. At your level, you're 2-strike policy.
I mean, I can see why they do that. Well, they're investing in you. They gotta see what they're gonna get back.
Mm-hmm.
But this Baltimore crowd was really good all night long, but especially in this main event, 4-way match for the world title: Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus the world champion Seth Rollins. This is a great match. Like you said before, it's all the focal point was on Kane, but we found out who Kane allied with right off the bat. It kept interfering. It was kind of comical.
Yeah,
and then it led to the spot, pretty much these table spots, where Randy Orton cleared off the table, got kind of attacked. Saw a mini Shield reunion where they all triple powerbomb Randy Orton on the table, and then Seth
Rollins was awesome.
Yeah. It was some kind of Three Stooges stuff where Seth's yeah, we're back, and then Dean and Roman kind of look at each other and just no, fuck this dude, take him out, lay him on a table, take Kane out, lay him on a table. They try to double powerbomb him, but the table doesn't break.
Yeah,
and then that just makes the crowd even more hot. They're going bigger and bigger.
One more time.
I
was saying one more time in my review. I was like, come on, man, one more time. And then the crowd was like, one more time.
Yep, and he did it. And then, but
it was monstrous.
But that was, and then they go back and forth after that spot, And then somehow Seth Rollins sneaks away with the belt after hitting the pedigree of all things. So what do you think of this maybe new finisher with Rollins, and what do you think of the match?
I think it's a load of crap. Okay.
Okay. The match?
I give this entire pay-per-view a 9 out of 10. I give it it blew my mind beyond every match. I hated the way that Neville and Neville and Barrett ended, but like, this was a fucking awesome pay-per-view, especially with the shitty build it got. Now let's talk about Seth Rollins, and even backtrack to my SmackDown review, the fact that the past 2 weeks, his finisher has basically been a kick to the face.
Yeah.
A flying knee that leads to a kick to the face. And I'm like, well, we're going to keep losing investment in this guy until we get something that defines him as with his finisher. Something that defines, because every time since the stomp has gone away, he's been hollow.
Yeah.
Like, what are we expecting? And Randy Orton did the pedigree on him at Extreme Rules.
Okay.
Right? Now, the pedigree, he put the pedigree on Randy Orton. Now, everyone's expecting that Ambrose was going to get the fall. And in my live reaction, I was like, people are saying that Ambrose was going to get the fall. And I said, if anybody, I think Randy Orton's going to get it. And sure enough. But it was the same finish. Not necessarily same finish reversed, but the pedigree spot, I just think it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit Rollins. It just doesn't. It doesn't. It fits Randy Orton more because of the history of Triple H and him and legacy and all that shit, right?
I think in terms of storyline, it fits Rollins more because Rollins is Triple H's boy now.
But
and eventually it can lead to a feud where it's a pedigree versus pedigree, Rollins versus Triple H at a Mania or something.
I don't think that will fly too well, man.
You don't think so?
Because it's just it lacks it. What this turned into is this has now nothing to do with any 4 guys that was in the ring. This is about Triple H, who meets him at the top of the fucking ramp.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute. And this is one of my beefs about, like, you remember when we did the review and I was like, hey, man, chill with the fucking 4 ways. Chill.
Yeah.
They're forgettable. For that moment that happened for Seth Rollins and a move that he should not be anywhere close to. He should be finding another self-defined move for himself.
I completely agree with that, yeah.
And it turned into Triple H, and now no one's going to remember what this match is even all about. You got something. They went back to the past to show the Shield, the little triple bomb, then a fucking pedigree, and then what else happened in this match? Do you remember what Randy Orton did? Do you remember what Ambrose did? You remember what Reigns did? No. What we do remember is a triple power bomb on a faction that never exist again, and a move from a guy who's not in the ring, had nothing to do with the pay-per-view in the first place, and then he finishes the night. Forgettable. It's forgettable, and it sucks. It sucks for all of those guys. You can't get past Kane. You can't get past fucking Triple H.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. That's pretty frustrating in the main top storyline nowadays. But I think they're just waiting for Lesnar. I think it's going to be Lesnar at SummerSlam, and they're just kind of waiting. And I think Rollins is the guy that Lesnar needs to take the belt off of, because you just are begging for.
But this ain't that hard, man. You can give him a submission hold, which I think would even be better than an Impact move. Giving him a submission hold, give him something. There's a million ways to finish a match. He's young, he's inventive. Everyone can sit down, powwow, and give him a new replacement. But it seems the longer he goes without like a self-defined finisher, he's going to become less and less important.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I don't know. Whenever I saw it, I was like, okay, well, they're just going to use, Triple H's old move to get him over, and then eventually he's going to turn. He's going to become a face, and Triple H and
the pedigree's going to get Rollins over? I think.
No, they're going to use it to get him he's going to get the win.
Oh, okay.
He's going to keep winning with the pedigree, and then eventually, down the line, at Mania season, Triple H, Rollins, pedigree versus pedigree.
WrestleMania is going to be Rock, Triple H.
You sure it's going to be Brock Rock?
Nah, they're going to go Triple H, Brock.
Oh, that's stupid. I think it should be Brock Rock. That's obviously the two biggest stars.
Yeah, it should, to fill up that.
The Dallas, you need Brock versus Rock, and then you just have everyone else just fall in line.
Dude. We'll talk about that later. We're so far away from that.
Yeah,
but I don't see Rock wanting to take that kind of abuse.
That's true. But then going into Raw Richmond, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
I think, it definitely had its highlights, I would say. But we'll get into it. We kick off the show with the Authority coming out, and they kind of put over the IC Elimination Chamber, say there's going to be an Intercontinental Elimination Chamber, and then Sheamus comes out. The crowd erupts big with "You Look Stupid" chants, which is one of my favorite chants because he just looks so. He looks like he loves it, but he looks like he's still kind of dumbfounded in a way every time he hears it. And then after that, Ryback comes out, and pretty much Sheamus.
But he takes credit for taking out Bryan.
This is true, yeah.
So he thinks he feels that he deserves a IC. He deserves to be in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. And Ryback comes out and says, I don't know how he comes off of a loss, but he comes out and somehow he thinks he can be the Intercontinental Champion, but Triple H just books a match right then and there, and they kick off Raw. It's Sheamus versus Ryback. It was a pretty alright match. It a lot of spine busters, big typical Ryback match. But then Sheamus was faking an eye injury, and then he stopped faking the eye injury to distract Ryback with the bro kick, and Sheamus won, very heel fashion.
And he works the ribs the entire match. What I was conscious enough to see before I fucking passed out.
Yeah.
He just works the rib the entire time. The thing about and I think this is the write-off. Ryback's going to be gone for a while. I think
he's in the Elimination Chamber.
Ryback is?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, right after the match, so Ryback lost at the pay-per-view, lost just now to Sheamus, and for some reason they just showed this graphic where he's in the Elimination Chamber. I don't know why, but Sheamus and Ryback are now in the Elimination Chamber officially after that match.
The Elimination Chamber is made for someone like Sheamus. I think because of his work style. I mean, the way he works, something like this, because it's a very brutal environment, the Elimination Chamber. And Sheamus is a guy who works in a fashion where the more brutal the environment, the better that he's going to perform. The last time he was in there, and this is what we were talking about. Were we doing the podcast at the time? And I was just excited about seeing Cesaro and Sheamus go at it.
We were.
And that was, and they both did an amazing job. Sheamus is going to steal the show in this. This is his.
You think so?
Yeah, this is his domain, man. I think if WWE's smart, and you know how okay, so this person is good at this thing, this person's good at that thing, he's been in here the most times. I think the Elimination Chamber, if they proceed to go with it, because apparently I thought they got rid of it the first time because of the structure of it was so massive that most arenas don't want it in there, But where they're having it, it's one of the only places that will.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that will allow them to do it, because I think they don't give a fuck, or maybe they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, or the structure, how it's built, or something.
I think any and every Elimination Chamber is going to be in Corpus Christi.
Oh, really?
I think that's going to be the Elimination Chamber spot.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then after that, they announced that there's going to be a Architect for a Dream, pretty much where the Authority's just kissing Seth Rollins' ass a little bit, just a nice kind of how they do those pieces at the end of Raw every now and then.
This is your life.
Yeah, what have you. I wouldn't, whatever. And then Kane's in the back. Dean interrupts them, and Kane books Dean versus Bray coming next up on Raw, as if we haven't seen that match a million times. But then we have a Neville promo, good delivery and everything, and then Bo Dallas comes out. What'd you
Neville, the thing is, I just wish Neville would just tone it down. Tone it down, Neville. Like, you sound a little, you sound desperate in your babyface thing. Yeah, no, I work really hard and I want to for the people. Like, come on, just tone it down.
And then, Bo attacks Neville right before Barry can get to the ring.
That was awkward.
Yeah, but Bo jumps on commentary. I guess they're gonna have a Neville.
Yeah, like what?
Bo Dallas.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up, and then I'm just gonna walk right over here.
Yeah.
And you're gonna still be in the ring, and it's like, wait a minute, no, this is that I didn't like that. I thought that was really awkward.
I guess they're setting up for a feud, but yeah, that was kind of weird. I think it should have just been a segment and not just a match after.
Exactly.
But Neville couldn't do his springboard move because of the attack because Bo attacked him, and got hit with a bullhammer for the second night in a row. King Bear wins it.
But man, Neville, he should be called the Bullhammer. Neville the Bullhammer, because he's caught more bullhammers than anyone since that fucking move has existed.
This is true.
And like the most amazing ways too. Like it's like straight out of like a video game, you know, the way he catches that fucker mid-flight. Or like, you know, just I guess because he sells it so great, but yeah, you know. But it seems that that's the end of this feud.
Yeah.
Because like Bo Dallas goes in afterwards and picks the bones of a down Neville. But like we've been down this road before. You watch NXT. You watch the feud between Neville and Bo Dallas. Do you think this is worth rehashing?
It was some good matches, and I guess if they're trying to give Neville some wins, and they got a 2-week build to a pay-per-view, and most of the roster is going to be in these Elimination Chamber matches. You got to give him someone to wrestle, and then Bo Dallas, just show off your moveset, and then take the win.
But who?
Neville.
At the expense of Bo, I think something. You know what? This is one of the things that I was talking about. I think in either in my in my live reactions or on SmackDown, is that like everyone's been talking about how Bo Dallas should join his brother Bray Wyatt and all that stuff, and I go like, you know what? I see him more as because they started talking about Bo Dallas, Barrett, I think on SmackDown, he was talking about Bo Dallas. He called him Sir Dallas, and like that would be a cool combo of like this guy who's just like this kind of like this suck up to the king.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And a guy who goes out and does like dastardly things, and he's always, this is your inspiration, the king. You know, I just see him as like a jest. Like you see the two dynamics of character. One is a wily fucking sort of dirtbag, but he comes off as this who's in the best interest for the king, kind of a nice guy. But you know, he's like Starscream, actually. You know, like from Transformers. He's like Starscream and Megatron. I just see that dynamic working so well, and I was hoping that they were going to go in that direction, but they don't. They're just going to go straight into Neville and Bo Dallas, and I want Bo Dallas to do something significant than to put someone over. I just feel like he should be doing something a little more significant.
Yeah. Well, I would agree. I like the Bo Dallas character, but since they haven't done really anything with him since he's gone to the main roster, I see this as helping him. Like he hasn't been on Raw in weeks.
Yeah.
And he might even get a pay-per-view match out of this, which I think probably happened once or twice ever. So, I mean, as much as it sucks to see him in this position, it is actually an elevated position from where he was at. So I'm all for this feud, and they know it's guaranteed going to be good because it was great already in NXT.
Give me my goddamn Sir Dallas, WWE. Give me my Sir Dallas. Give me my Sir Dallas, please. Those two combo would be awesome.
That is true, and yeah, I think them versus Harper and Rowan would be a great feud. But whatever, we're fantasy booking here.
Yeah. In the second hour, let me do this one.
Yeah.
So Rusev comes out to address the audience about him quitting. and he cuts an amazing heel promo. The guy is heat beyond heat beyond heat. Lana's not out there, and he's out there screaming about how he didn't say I give up. I did not quit. I did not quit. So Triple H or Kane, I demand a rematch. Get a referee out here. Let's restart this fucking I quit match. And Lana comes out and she's talking about how she's in his best interest and how you're misunderstood. I love you. I want to protect you and all this shit. And she admits to the crowd that, dude, what you were saying in Bulgarian was I quit. And Rusev just calls her everything but Lana and kicks her ass out the ring, and basically
crowd boos the fuck out of this.
Yeah, man. If anything, if you're smart, you'd be cheering for this. It's like, hey, hot babe on the market again, right?
Yeah.
So this is basically the breakup between, sadly enough, I mean, in terms of character development, this is way too soon, just too soon.
Yeah, I think they could have brought this all the way to Survivor Series, just like the jealous boyfriend of like people coming to avenge Lana. All this type of stuff. This could have been like, they spent a year making him the shithead Russian. They could have made him the shithead Russian.
And made her the powerful one, actually.
Yeah, they could have done something where he's the shithead Russian and he's also kind of like a dick to his girlfriend. So there's just another element of why you should hate him. Mm-hmm. And I think it is rushed. I just think it's a little rushed. That's it. That's the only complaint. I think it is good. What they're doing is good, but it could be a little better, in my opinion.
But it gets worse.
Yeah. Then we go into the Dean versus Bray match. We've seen these guys wrestle a bunch, but this was an awesome match. I completely forgot about their old feud during this match.
Ain't that a bitch? Because that feud was only 4 or 5 months ago.
It was right before Mania. But it was awesome. This gigantic scoop slam to start things off by Bray. Pretty awesome.
Very hot match.
Yeah, they do the Dean tries to do the senton, but Dean rolls out the way.
Oh, Bray.
Bray tries to do the senton, but Dean rolls out the way. And then J&J come in to interfere, and then through that interference, Bray can hit the Sister Abigail. Dean's pissed, but they're kind of setting up for later on in the show.
That was an awesome fucking spot.
Yeah.
That fucking Sister Abigail off the top rope, that was something.
It was. Bray's good. And Randy's not doing anything, man. Maybe we could see that feud you've been talking about, Bray versus Orton.
But Dean gets the loss.
Well, because J&J come out, he can't.
Yeah, I know. But fuck J&J in this thing. Get him as far away from J&J as possible. I don't want to think of the Dean Ambrose's hottest feud is with J&J. No. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
we talked about this last week.
I don't think his hottest feud was with J&J. I thought it was with Rollins, and I think you're supposed to kind of pick up on the Rollins sent them out there. Kane did book the match, so it could,
It still looks.
It was set up from the beginning, folks.
It looks like the feud is J&J and Ambrose. That's what it fucking looks like. More than Rollins, more than anybody.
And we go into Kid and Cesaro versus the New Day. This is like the weekly awesome segment.
No Woods at ringside.
That's true.
They banned him from ringside because
they can't keep all these black people out there together.
I mean, we can't point them out. Someone's gonna run and get the win. Like what? Like, let's keep it down to 2 Negroes. Let's keep this a 2 Negro
in the railing area.
Yeah. But it ends up being a no contest. They're beating this into the ground. Again, as much as I love Kid and Cesaro versus New Day,
this was a bit much, especially if all you're going to do is have the Lucha Dragons come out, then Los Matadores come out, then the Ascension come out, and then the Primetime Players come out to clean up everyone's hat. Like, why couldn't you could have something where it would be, I don't know, anyone. You could have any of those teams that I just named versus the New Day to set that up.
But I guess this is very, it's from the hip, rapid fire.
Yeah.
We got to do a prediction show next week, right? You know, it's like.
And did you see Darren Young hit the Roderick Strong mover, where it's a fireman's carry into the knees?
No, that's been his move.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's been his move, his finisher for a while.
I need to start paying more attention to Darren Young.
What, on Superstars?
Yeah, I mean,
on fucking Main Event.
That move is sick though.
The only time that he really got a real push, a solo push, was after, I think it was like 3 weeks after he said he was gay or some shit.
Yeah, but that's just them trying to capitalize on that.
Yeah, but like it meant nothing because he left as soon as that happened.
Yeah.
Or it was the week before. Sorry, it was the week before he had a solo match and he pulled that off as his finisher. Hell
yeah, it's awesome. And then we go into a Cena promo. Cena pretty much, what do they call it? State of the Union address out here. Gets USA chants, talks about it. It points out the soldiers in the crowd, points out the little kids in the crowd. Like that, pretty much full on face. Fuck yeah, America, U.S. champion promo.
I'm surprised he didn't come out with a fucking 2x4.
No,
and a mullet.
He needs to come out. We're just gonna
hear blue trunks.
We're just gonna hear like a caca, and then all of a sudden Cena's gonna poke at his arm, and a bald eagle is gonna land on Cena's arm.
Oh yeah.
One night on Raw, dude. It's gonna be awesome, man.
Yeah, but you could just stick his thumb out. You could be like, oh, like yeah. But this leads to the weekly John Cena U.S. Open Championship of the World.
Kevin fucking Owens.
Now, wait.
What's up?
Who were you thinking was going to walk out?
I had no clue. I thought it was just gonna. Actually, someone asked that before Raw on Twitter, and I said I hope it's Heath Slater because that's what I always say.
Yeah, he finally makes it into the fight.
I'm cheering for Heath Slater to take the U.S. title from Cena. That's just what I want. That's just what I want, WWE. But I didn't know who it was going to be. But someone snarky was just like, it's going to be Kevin Owens. And I thought he was just being a dick. But then when I found out that he actually spoiled this shit for me.
No, it was. But I don't think anyone knew. I don't think there was any spoilers out for that.
Oh, you think he just guessed it?
I think it was just I think once you think about it now, this U.S. challenge is hitting a ceiling to a certain extent, and it's. Right now, for what it's worth, it started off with the people in the IC Championship. Mm-hmm. When Neville challenged, they hit something, and it turned into, well, man, if we got to stay on our toes for this.
Yeah.
So we get Neville
and Sami Zayn.
We get Sami Zayn, and it just seemed like a natural thing that
There's a few things I don't like about it though. It does give away because there's an NXT TakeOver Unstoppable special event tonight. Mm-hmm. It definitely gives away the finish of that match because they're not going to have Kevin Owens lose the NXT title.
No, but here's the thing: when we get to the end, and we can talk about it. We find out that actually Kevin Owens and Cena are going to fight.
Yeah.
In Elimination Chamber, but it's not for the belt. It's just a match.
It's not the U.S. title belt?
No, it's not for the match.
Or the NXT
It's
title.
Not. It's just a match. I think it's just. I think what's happening with Kevin Owens, and I think this is the way you should do it. They're getting this right. He is sort of like a hitman. He's like, he's just like, dude, I'm down to NXT. I'm good. I ain't fighting you on your terms. Fuck you. Yeah. Fuck your belt. He tosses.
He stands on the belt and
then
dude. The title up.
How did you feel during that whole promo? I mean, like, what did you think?
I liked the promo, especially when he cut him off and said like he's been wrestling for 15 years. I'm not too big of a fan of Kevin Owens' delivery in general, but with that being said, this is his delivery and it was good when he did it. I thought it was good back and forth, but one thing is. What got him over in the Indies and in Ring of Honor and everything was he was so big he could throw everyone around. Mm-hmm. He looked pretty small standing next to Cena.
He's in great shape. He had that belly, but he's in good. I mean, he used to be thin.
But apparently. He could barely pick up Cena for that power bomb. He's gonna look small compared to Barrett. He's gonna look small compared to Sheamus. He's gonna look small compared to Cesaro and Big E.
But here's the thing. He's a very unorthodox fighter. And I think he's still a tough dude. I think that's his whole shtick, that he's like a tough dude. And like, you know those guys that like you just don't fuck with? Like, that's Owens. Regardless of, like, he could be a smaller guy, he could be, bigger guy.
But his moves in the ring, he can't do anymore. Except for the rolling senton. He can't package pile driver Sheamus. It's not going to work.
He's been wrestling for how long? He'll figure it out.
No,
I think he'd be able to pull off a match for what it's worth with Cena or with anybody. I think like this is where your faith as an indie fucking snark comes in, where it's like this guy can wrestle circles around Cena. Now, regardless if he can get someone in a package or not, he still can get out there and probably tell a great story in the ring versus someone that he can't just bully around and toss.
Well, I don't cheer for just because you're from the Indies doesn't mean
but I'm just saying, he's a bit of a staple, right?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I think as a wrestling fan of his, probably longer than the average person, you think that he's limited? You think he would be limited in a match with Cena because he can't do those things?
Yeah, I think he definitely, like, it took a lot of liberties in guys in the Indies because of how small they were compared to him. Mm-hmm. He can't do that because, one, they won't let him, and two, it just doesn't.
We don't know yet.
I mean, yeah, we don't know. I'm all for fresh faces, and I'm giving him a chance. I was just not as stoked as everybody else,
I was in my holy fuck moment, and you're talking about a guy who's only known. The first time I seen Steen fight was when we came back and watched that ROH pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, that was like a year ago.
Yeah, and he walks out. So I'll keep up. I'll listen to the shit.
Yeah.
One thing, I was listening to the Solid Monster this Sunday, and he was talking about what you were talking about in terms of the promo. He's like, yo, like he reads a lot of tweets about how people don't like Kevin Owens' delivery in his promos and stuff, and that are kind of awkward. And he's like, no, that's him. Like, he stands out because he speaks in that manner. Now, what I got out of his speech, out of his shoot with Cena, is that, like, man, fuck you. Like, that's, like, he's like, he's just like, man, whatever, man. Like, you think you're hot shit? No, I'm hot. It was almost kind of, like, arrogant. And he's talking to him in a way that's like, boy, you don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked how it was set up. I liked everything. I don't know. I guess I was just being overly snarky. I want to critique it a little bit, but.
So, what was your initial reaction when he actually walked out?
Oh, I was surprised. I thought that dude on Twitter. I thought he spoiled it for me. That's immediately what I thought. I was like, well, why the fuck did that guy do that?
It was the last thing I expected. I went, holy fuck, 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 holy fuck. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did, because I was like, no way is this happening right now. This is weird. And what is going to happen?
It's a match at Elimination Chamber. It's pretty awesome.
He's a henchman, man. He is Boba Fett.
Do you think they're going to use him in the Authority, maybe?
Yeah. As a guy, because he's still in NXT.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be like this guy who's going to be like a checker. He's going to be like a heat check for anyone who Triple H feels needs a little shaken up. And he's going to start with Cena. And whoever stands in his way, because, okay, you got the Authority. You got Rollins, you got Kane, you got J&J. Big Show when he returns. But now you got this guy who's basically a one-man shield.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I definitely thought the end there where you're standing over the belt, standing on top of the U.S. belt with his NXT title.
Fuck your couch. This is where it's at, buddy. Like, I don't want your fucking belt. Why I need your belt? I got this one. And where it's like, fuck, they did so much to legitimize that U.S. belt. And then it just gets stepped on.
I mean, I feel like they built it up for something like this to happen. I mean, after Cena loses this belt, I can see it kind of trickling back down onto somebody else, you know. I feel like the U.S. title has had so much emphasis the last like year or two. It went from Sheamus, which was high praise. Like when he had it originally, people were like, he's too big for that title. Mm-hmm. And then it went to Rusev, and they had that whole storyline. Now it's on Cena. So, I mean, step on the U.S. belt, because before it wasn't even on Raw. So if it's on Raw getting stepped on, mm-hmm. you know what I mean? Like, it's a... I like the feud.
I would like to hear the back. Did everything go as planned with Vince and them on this? Did things happen in that ring? Things said, things, because you know Kevin Steen he doesn't give a fuck. I think he's one of those guys he's like a don't get fired guy. You know, like I'll get fired, fuck it, kind of guy. Like fuck what? Like don't do this, don't do that. Actually, that'd be the first thing I do.
Yeah, I hear that.
I'm going to mention how I've been wrestling longer than you, Cena, and I'm going to step on the U.S. belt. I'm Triple H's guy. I'm not Vince's guy. I'm an NXT guy. And on top of that, I want no association with this shit. So he buried the WWE to put Triple H's shit over. And I go, I hope there's no backstage heat from that. I'm curious to the backstage and how that went down.
It's true. I didn't think about that.
So, but yeah, this is gonna be a moment. Like this is probably one of the best debuts over any debut that they've had over Neville, over Zayn, over anybody, Charlotte, anybody. He came out, he made a statement, made a great first impression against the biggest guy in the company, and he stepped. You can't beat that. Yeah, that's what a debut is. You know?
That's true.
Interaction. He showed his weight on the mic. He showed everything.
Oh yeah. And then we had Dolph versus Stardust.
Don't even care.
Yeah, real short match. Ziggler wins, but then they announced both of them for the Elimination Chamber. And then, what'd you think of this next segment?
Yeah, Cole walks out and he's interviewing. He's like, "Yeah, you're nice. You're going to Disney World." You know, like that's what it felt like. Like fucking. And Ziggler just stop talking, please. I hate when he talks. Fucking hate. Oh yeah, it's hockey season. Chicks love bruises. Shut up. God. Oh. But anyway, out comes Lana, like out of nowhere, and she's walking down, and she's basically purring. She's just a purring away, basically, and we're just like, what's happening here? And then she gets closer. And then they kiss. Awkward. They back up. Like Lady and the Tramp. Like they just fucking sucked spaghetti until the lips met. And they're awkward. Oh, jeez, gosh. Golly whiz. And then everyone's like, one more time. And I'm like, no, not one more time.
I mean, I guess they're just excited to see Lana away from the verbally abusive Rusev.
I thought it was a setup from the beginning anyway, because when she kissed him again and then Rusev comes out, he's like, oh, here he comes, you know, and I'm like, this is a setup. This is like just a means to get Rusev back, to make him jealous. And he comes out, he fucking tosses Ziggler outside, bitches at Lana, it looks like he's about to fuck her up. He hits him with the zigzag, and then Ziggler wants to grab that ass so bad. You can see him like hovered, want to grab the ass a little bit, but like he doesn't grab the ass. Like everyone wants to grab that ass. Now there's three things to this. A, comedically, Ziggler becomes the biggest heel in the company.
Oh, why? Because he took Lana?
Yeah. Are you serious? Like she just landed on the market, right? We want to just see her run free. And just like, ha! We love you, Lana. We love you, Lana. And then she just fucking shows up to Ziggler. This is fucking third broad. Vicky Guerrero, he couldn't shake her. He made her career. AJ Lee, he helped AJ's fucking career. And now Lana. I think Ziggler does more. He puts over more fucking ballets than himself. Like he's future ballet, hook him up with fucking Ziggler. Ziggler will get them over. And he's further. This is such a mid-card storyline that he's nowhere near that IC belt. Nowhere near that fucking IC belt.
Oh, well, I think it's about Rusev. I think this feud's not about Ziggler. I think it's about Rusev. I think this is going to be another Rusev win.
Dude, I'm sorry. This is the beginning of the end
of Rusev.
This is the beginning of the end of Rusev. Very soon, he's going to be in England. He's going to be at a table with fucking Santino Marella drinking tea. Like, this is it. This is it. The big, bad, crusher, brawler, fucking machine of a man. He's now a joke. This is it for him. It's been nice, Rusev. You gave us a good run. You served your purpose being fed to Cena. Now, Bobby Lashley, all those guys, they're waiting for you at the Golden Gates. all of them. Name them. Name the guys. Umaga. Name the guys that were fed to Cena. They just went into obscurity.
I mean, Khali, Umaga, yeah, Bobby Lashley said. I mean, yeah, there's tons. I get.
What? Big Rick. What's his name?
Ezekiel Jackson.
Ezekiel Jackson.
I think he was bred there. He didn't make it.
Well, it's been several. JBL, they're all waiting for you, Rusev, at their pearly gates.
But I don't know. Rusev is so good. Like, I can see them getting a Roman Reigns feud out of this.
Nope. Not even happening.
Bray.
Not even happening.
Dean.
Not even happening.
Maybe, man. I don't know.
They're gonna deal with this Ziggler shit. They only get Lana over, and then that's it. You've served your purpose, bro. You've served your purpose. Pour a little bit out. Had some orange juice. Oh, here we go. There's a little orange juice. Pour a little bit out. There you go. Pour a little bit out for. He's watching this. I'm actually pouring out orange juice.
He did pour orange juice
on my carpet.
On the carpet. I mean, God bless him. God bless Rusev. But they're going on to Harper and Rowan versus Fandango and Ryder. So,
next.
Yeah, Harper and Rowan win, and then we go on to Nikki versus Naomi without Brie. Brie cannot be there at ringside, and then
it's a Divas Championship match.
Yeah, it's all right. Tamina super kicks Nikki. Paige comes out to
the returning Paige.
Yeah, to save Nikki, but then attacks Nikki and hits the Rampage because she wants the belt. So I guess they're doing, like you said earlier, a 3-way feud. I guess Naomi, Paige, and Nikki.
Because here's the thing, because Paige is the bona fide #1 contender.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah, because she won the Battle Royal in England.
And Naomi
beat her 3 times.
Yeah.
This just proves that Nikki should not have the title. If you got 2 people that say, like, well, I won the Battle Royal, well, I beat you 3 times.
But she's lost matches. She lost the Extreme Rules match. Okay, yeah. It was Brie Bella. It was a Brie Bella, kick to the face that led to the. But it's a loss. Just because you pin someone in a tag team doesn't. I don't think it considers. When people say, "Oh yeah, he got pinned in the tag team match," that makes him continue. When did that start happening? When did that idea start happening?
I mean.
Because I don't count that as a pin over that makes them qualify for something. There's other people involved.
I mean, maybe not 1 time, but if it happens 3 times within the course of like 2 months, I mean, I think it's...
She had her chance. I think and even this one, she had her chance. And they're talking about, well, we're being overlooked. It's like you've been given 2 title shots. And you've lost them both. Regardless of how it ended, you lost. So it's like... I don't think they ever intended on putting that belt on Naomi, which is so sad.
Don't get over if you're not supposed to, guys. Zack Ryder will teach you that.
I don't know, man. It's just weird. I think they were just waiting for Paige. I mean, I guess Paige will be a triple threat. I don't see why. I want Naomi in it, but I don't see why she should be in it. I think her and Tamina have just as much purpose to be in it. You know, like
yeah, man.
Oh, it could be a fatal 4-way, and it can, and you can twist it to where Tamina is in the best interest of Naomi, where she, you know, they're just basically running shot on both Nikki and
Brie or Paige.
Yeah, Brie and Paige.
Yeah.
Where they're just teaming up, and Tamina's putting Naomi in every position to win, but for some reason that just falls flat, and Paige ends up with the belt again. Mm-hmm. I think the Bella Twins have been on TV too long. I think it's time for them to go for a while.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Nikki's been doing a good job in the ring, man. Her Extreme Rules, her performance in Extreme Rules was pretty good, and even in this match was pretty decent, really decent, surprisingly decent.
It's higher praise than I'm willing to go, but yeah, Nikki is getting better. Then we go into the last Kevin Owens promo, pretty much going over what we've already gone over with him.
Yeah.
And then we go into this really long last segment where they're pretty much it's, you know, what do they call it? It's like the architect of a dream.
Okay. Whatever, dude. Whatever. No, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do this. Let's just get to it.
There's center blocks on the outside. Dean threatens to.
But first, to set it up, Dean comes. He's the party crasher, and he's like, "Fuck this! I deserve a title shot." And Stephanie is all like, "Yeah," and basically he's like, "Yeah, all right, get him, Rollins," right?
Oh, this was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, get him. Like, you know, putting Rollins in a position is like, what?
Rollins is like, "What the fuck?" And he takes, you know, puts the ball away.
Get him.
Takes his shirt off. Takes his jacket off.
Yeah, I got this. Yeah, you're right. I do got this.
Yeah, kind of like hyping himself up. Like you can kind of sense Rollins does a really good job of that. Of like where we can see multiple layers of his character. Where we can tell like he's hyping himself up, but you can see kind of in the inside that he is scared. He does a really good job of that kind of stuff. But so after that, Rollins comes charging at him. Dean ducks right away. Dean attacks him right away.
J&J gets involved, and then, you know, it's a brawl, but then it's almost like I'm surprised like the rest of the Authority, Kane, fucking Stephanie McMahon, Triple H. I'm surprised they didn't just whip out their cell phones to like video. You know what I'm saying? That's what it looked like. They were like, "Oh yeah, fight, we got you, fight," and just whip out your cell phone. That would have been so funny. Like if they would have whipped out and started acting like they were recording the actual brawl itself.
Yeah, World Star.
Yeah, World Star. That's what it seemed like. Cause they just backed off. Like whatever. But what is it?
Well, Dean gets the upper hand and takes him out to the center block spot that. For some reason, like the last few years, we're just supposed to believe that there's just these cinder blocks.
When you saw that, what did you think? Well, what was your reaction when you saw that little area?
I was like, not again.
Yeah.
They did it one time, and like you know, that was okay, fine. That was one night on Raw. But now it's like, okay, yeah, I know there's chairs in the ring. I know there's tables in the ring. I know sometimes Mick Foley can bring out a barbed wire bat from the ring, but you can't just have cinder blocks sitting there. That's not cool. Because then. Wouldn't you go for that? Like if you had a match the second hour, well shit, dude, let's powerbomb one of those fucking cinder blocks. Why is this like saved for the last?
You break kayfabe much? Jesus Christ, this is like kayfabe Jake hour.
I'm just saying.
Kayfabe Jake, that's your new name now, dude. You're kayfabe Jake. Kayfabe Jake in the building. But I just go, dude, really? I just thought it was too slapstick.
Yeah.
I just thought it was slapstick.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit it." They've been doing this a lot lately. Like, you better give me what I want, or I'm gonna kill him. Like they did that.
But
Seth Rollins did it with
Rollins debilitated to him, like to be stuck
to that extent?
Yeah.
I guess he might have been like scared to move. He realized how vulnerable he was.
Did he like take his leg out? Was there a big move before he puts his head on the thing?
I don't remember.
Because all right. Okay, so in the brawl, he's trying to escape, but there's no, like, I see if there was, like, a clothesline or, like, a power bomb or something, a suplex on the outside, something that made him vulnerable to be rendered helpless to where his head is stuck on the cinder block. I mean, dude, just stand up, right? That was kayfabe Peter hour now, right?
I mean, I guess what we're getting at is like this was too ridiculous to have these center blocks laying out there. But nevertheless, Dean gets the title match.
He gets granted his title match.
Yeah.
And but
did you see the new?
He gets overwhelmed again by everyone attacking him. I think Kane attacks, JJ attacks, and then Seth hits the pedigree on him. At the end.
So second night in a row. There was something I really did like about the segment. There's a new camera angle behind the announcer's table, so when he does the backdrop, like Seth goes flying into it. Did you notice that?
I've seen that before.
You seen that camera angle right behind
that? That wasn't a new camera.
That was new, man. That was new. I haven't seen it before. Behind the.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. I don't know. I think it was new. I don't know. Hit us up on Twitter. Let me know if you've seen it before.
Is it any bit of news floating around?
Have you watched Global Wars on?
I was planning to watch it yesterday, but I was so beat. I couldn't get around to watching it because of a long day of errands.
Cedric Alexander versus Okada.
Don't tell me. I know the card. Just don't say anything. Shut up.
I'm just saying Cedric Alexander.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Versus Okada.
Can you shut the fuck up? I don't want to know anything. I know the card. I just want to go and watch it. Thank you very much. And I think I'll watch it tomorrow, if that's okay with you.
Nah, it's not okay. Watch it tonight, man.
No, I got tonight, Wednesday. I gotta upload this shit. It's gonna take fucking forever. I feel like there's a good bit of.
Let's talk. Like Hideo Itami is out. There's a new NXT Takeover coming out tonight.
Oh, that is tonight. Yeah,
Hideo is out. He was supposed to wrestle, and Sami Zayn is injured. But he's still going to be wrestling. And now Daniel Bryan's out. Do you think this is going to affect any kind of a push for any of these guys that wrestle this kind of style in the future?
This is something when we first started this podcast and we started talking about the effectiveness of the NXT post indie wrestlers, and I go, this in itself, what this development, they should call it not developmental but slow the fuck down. This is called the slow the fuck down part of training. And in comparison to sports and what's happening with these pitchers and the Tommy John thing, you got these kids that are at fucking 14 years old throwing like 90 mile per hour balls year round, and they're having Tommy John surgery as like a rite of passage into, say, what their college, minor league, and major league careers are. This is unnatural. It shouldn't be this way. They're beating their bodies up. Their bodies are already like in retirement stage by the time they even get to the minor leagues. This is what the independents are, and this is the what's the word I want to say? This is the gamble that Triple H is taking by taking these guys. Is this going to be a problem? They're going to sway away from a lot of the guys that have a lot of fucking mileage on their bodies. They're just going to sway away from those guys.
Do you think that means no Joe? No Samoa Joe?
Oh yeah, of course Joe. Yeah, Joe's in there. Joe's a big boy. That's the thing. Like, he's a hefty kid. Yeah, he's hard to break.
He has a lot of mileage though.
But you know what? At his age, they will only need him from a. It's not like this guy, when he shows up, he's gonna have this long lasting career in the WWE.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna use him. Well, he's as old as John Cena or older.
I'm not sure the exact age of either one of them, but I think I've seen them both around for just as long.
You could get 3 good years out of him.
Okay.
3 good years out of him, and I think that would be enough. He can fucking walk off into the sunset. I think that's good for him. But he's a different breed of guy. He's Samoan. He's fucking built to take abuse, right? Mm-hmm. But you get these smaller guys. Your Nevilles. Not so much. Sorry. Your Hideo Itamis. Your Daniel Bryans. Your Sami Zayns. Their bodies aren't as big and rough and tough as, say, Uhaa Nation, Samoa Joe. Let's just say if they picked up Brian Cage. Let's just say they went and got a lot of guys on the indies that are just like these big dudes. I could see Adam Cole getting hurt once he ever got to the WWE.
Well, the thing is, especially with the Uhaa Nation, if you see him compared to these other guys they signed, he doesn't look that big. He looked like a monster.
No, I'm talking about a meaty guy. Where you give him a chop, he's like, you know, the only thing that you would be afraid of him breaking is his ankle because it turned wrong. Not him like having his arm go out of place. You know, he's like Mark Henry out that motherfucker. Just a big, thick guy that can withstand a lot of hits.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's a mixture of agility and thickness, which is like, well, only if Daniel Bryan was just a bigger guy in terms of mass.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be talking. Or Sami Zayn or Hideo Itami. Look at those guys. They're the same body. They're basically the same body.
Yeah. Well, Hideo's smaller than even Bryan.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You know, God bless him in the WWE system, but he's a great talent.
I feel like something else is significant. I guess
Global Force Wrestling.
No.
Signed those guys. I mean, that's.
Well,
we actually talked about that last week.
Oh yeah. Well, they had to get rid of fucking Hall.
Cody Hall.
No, not Hall. No, his dad.
Scott Hall was on Global Force.
He was. I don't know as an active wrestler, but he was going to be a personality.
Oh yeah.
But he's dealing with a sobriety hardcore. He's gone into another dip. God, I feel like there's something way more significant. You know what? Fuck it. Who cares? Where we at right here? Let's just wrap this motherfucker up.
All right.
So, last plugs. So we got the you got to get out of here soon. So
yeah.
Fast in the World podcast. You guys are going to review tonight's big old takeover.
Oh yeah, stoked. 2-hour show. Yeah, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. We've talked about it tons on the show. That was already Dave Meltzer's feud of the year when that match was in Ring of Honor, and this is the second time they're wrestling on NXT. Plus, Finn Balor, with former Prince Devitt in New Japan Pro Wrestling, started the Bullet Club, wrestling Tyler Breeze for the number one contenders title. You got Charlotte Flair. It's a pretty fucking great match.
Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks
for the women's title too. So you got a tag divas match and a divas title. I think the women's NXT is way better than the main roster. Divas.
And fucking and a steak is better than a fucking hot dog. Surprise, surprise.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you would think that they'd at least level it out a little bit, especially with girls that have been there as long as Charlotte has. I mean, Emma's good. I don't know why they moved her back down. I guess with all these DUIs and everything.
Emma did shoplifting.
Oh, shoplifting. Oh, well, yeah. Well, then don't put her in Florida around all that nice stuff. Keep her moving.
I know. The divas are props. Divas are props. And they need to get, if you're going to move up Sasha Banks, you're going to move up Charlotte Flair, you're going to move up Bayley, you're going to move up Blue Pants, you got to get rid of that fucking belt. You got to remove the title diva. You have to bring back or split the division in half. If you want to be the pretty girl and you want to, pretend to wrestle, you get the Divas Championship. You be an ambassador. That's what's great. That'd be great. But when these girls are coming out with all this fucking these submission holds and these fucking great matches, you bring back the women's championship. You bring that fucker back and have them your working women's champ.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
But that ain't gonna happen.
Well, yeah, at JG Pro Wrestling for Twitter. That's where everything's gonna be up and on.
PJTW Central at Twitter. L in Japanese. LINJAPANAIC. PJTWCentral.com. Go back and check out the archives of everything. Peter Jake Talks Wrestling, Fast in the World podcast, Peter Talks SmackDown, fucking Peter's live reactions, the New Day podcast, Peter Talks Wrestling with interviews. We got
John Hitchcock, Zicky Dice, and Mark Charles from Outside Interference.
The legal man, Mark Charles.
He has his radio show and podcast coming out every Wednesday, Wrestle Talk Wednesday. So
y'all been on a little alliance, man.
Yeah, maybe trying to pick up some knowledge from the best while I'm actually getting the rub.
And then you're talking to Mark Charles.
Yeah. All right, y'all. This will be it.
Hey, I will see you next week. Again, next week. Predictions for Elimination Chamber.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Predictions for Elimination Chamber, and I got Peter Talks SmackDown. The NXT Takeover. What is the name of this takeover anyway?
Unstoppable.
And have yours. I guess until Saturday when I see you for Peter Talks SmackDown. Have an amazing week. Enjoy the NBA playoffs. Fuck Golden State.
Oh, what? No way.
Too many high yellow ones.
You have been listening to Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast. Please tune in next week.
Come on, y'all, get live, get down. Like, come on, y'all, get live, get down. I said, come on, y'all, get live, get down. I said, come on, y'all, get live, get down.